Welcome back to Beyond the Law podcast, where we will be talking about legal issues that are shaping our nation. And later on to the podcast, there will be two special guests that will be joining us. My name is Alia.
And I'm Belle. So this issue I want to talk about, we want to talk about it because bribery means corruption. And I feel like it's so easy to commit this crime as it's not really serious and most of the time you don't even get caught. So if bribery continues, everything in Malaysia will be corrupted and everything like the economy and everything, businesses will go downhill. This issue needs to be discussed and talked about heavily because it's serious.
Yeah, and why we are talking about bribery issue is because in real world consequences, from rigged election to corporate fraud, bribery has a massive implication. It can shape the entire economies, topple government, and impact every citizen like you. And while bribery is illegal and unethical, some cultures and industries see it as a cost of doing business, illegal business. It reveals the hidden mechanism that shape decision behind closed doors, so away from public eyes.
So we think that is why we want to discuss about this issue and why we're interested in talking about this issue. So one of the examples of media reports beside this viral video is the 1MDB scandal in Malaysia revolved around a government fund that was meant to foster growth, but it ended up being used for personal gain, corrupt activities, and money laundering. Millions of dollars were allegedly stolen by top officials, including the former Prime Minister Najib Razak, as we all know. This led to global investigations, including by the US. It involved diverting funds for luxury assets, severely damaging Malaysia's reputation. That's the gist of it. So lots of money misused for luxury and corruption. And this is like the main reason that corruption is such an important topic to talk about, but not seen enough.
Okay, start.
So Belle, these are the solutions to curtail the bribery issues in Malaysia. So to strengthening the monetary system of authorities. With strong monetary, every transaction and spend is tracked, easier to spot unusual patterns. And to robust monetary system of authorities creates a clear record of who did what and when. This transparency makes it much harder for anyone to hide bribery or other corrupt practices. So this will promote ethical work ethics.
I agree.
Right? And then secondly, which is very important and the government should take note, is to increase the salary of the authorities. The real reason why bribery is happening among every country, especially Malaysia, is because of the low wages that are being paid to these authorities. Less financial pressure means they don't feel desperate for additional income and less likely to risk their jobs. So last but not least, what I want to talk about is fostering public awareness and education. So integrate anti-corruption education, incorporate ethics and anti-corruption models to school curriculum to instill values of integrity from a young age. And conduct public awareness campaign. Utilize media and community to educate citizens about the detrimental effects of bribery and how to resist it and report it. Lastly is engage civil society organizations, so collaborating with NGOs and community groups to monitor corruption and advocate for policy reforms. And that's all for me.
And we also have another special guest. Her name is Sammy. So she couldn't make it because she's in London. So we are going to Zoom call her.
Yes. In the next segment, you will see the video.
So let's call Sammy now.
Hi everyone, I'm Sammy. Yeah, okay, so as a witness after seeing this issue happen right in front of my eye, right, I have studied more and definitely looked into more bribery cases in Malaysia, and I found out that these bribery cases happens because our law, right, has quite a weak enforcement lah. Basically, our law, they don't have a strong action against corruption, which allows bribery cases to grow in our country all around Malaysia in every district, and then this lets people like they think like they can get away with it. They're like, oh, I won't get any punishment, so I'm just gonna do it, it's fine. They won't do anything much about it, they won't do much about it. Yeah. Okay, then the second one is basically like the lack of transparency in our country lah. So basically, when decisions are not clear, right, bribery cases is like somehow easier because like there's less oversight and accountability. So like, oh, no one might know, like, oh, they might not know, the police might not know, this might not know, they might not know, you know, which is quite sad lah, I think. Okay, lastly, I saw on this website, basically basically what they're trying to tell us is that in some parts of Malaysia, right, bribery is seen as like normal. Like it's not something bad, it's not something too bad. So like everyone thinks it's normal for it to happen, normal for it to do it. So like it's like harder to stop everyone from, not everyone, like harder to stop people from doing bribery or like to even commit to bribery, because like somehow they think it's normal, they don't think it's wrong, they don't think it's bad. Yeah, I think there's definitely more reasons to it lah, more reasons for like why does bribery happens, why does it happens in our country, why does it grow, that's the most important thing. Why does it increase, why so much, why it becomes so much, right? But like I think it's actually more like something we have to do together to encounter it, like not just like the law or the government. Like we ourselves, we have to have the awareness to like, oh, this person is doing bribery, it's not good, or like, oh, bribery is not good, we should stop it. Or if you see your friends doing it, maybe it's just a little bit, it's just a little thing, like I don't know, a pencil, I think you should stop it lah. Yeah, we have to know what's right and we have to know what's wrong. Okay, thank you.
Welcome back to TYC News. So today we are going to start off by talking about the latest hot podcast that has been surfing around the internet. And the viral podcast is Beyond the Law podcast, and it is talking about bribery. So here's what I know about bribery. Bribery is the act of offering, giving, or receiving something of value to influence the action of an individual in a position of power or authority. Second one is bribery is illegal in most countries and can result in severe penalties, including fines, imprisonment, and reputational damage. The forms of bribery are cash payment, gift, favor, or promises of benefits in exchange of preferential treatment or unfair advantages. Last but not least, impact on society. Bribery undermines trust in institution, promotes corruption, distorts fair competition, and can lead to inefficiency and injustice in both public and private sectors. So now let's get into this popular podcast.
Were you speeding? And were you speeding without wearing the seatbelt? Rushing is not an answer. You can go now. Welcome.
Right in front of us, we have two special guests named.
Hi, my name is Arfan.
And my name is Ryan, and I was convicted of bribing a police officer, and I have served my time.
And I was the police officer that took the bribe. I'm going to talk about the weaknesses of the current system. As a former police officer, and after getting my police badge removed, I know the weaknesses of the system in respect of this area of law and why is it so common in Malaysia. The first one is political interference and selective enforcement. The MACC lacks full independence as its chief commissioner is appointed by the Prime Minister. This raises concerns about potential political influence, especially in cases involving high-ranking individuals. There have been allegations of selective prosecutions where opposition faced corruption charges while government-aligned individuals are treated more leniently. The second one is weak whistleblower protection. The Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 does not fully protect whistleblowers, and it is only grants immunity if the report is made to an enforcement agency, limiting disclosure to the public or media. Whistleblowers often face retaliation, including job loss and harassment, discouraging reporting. The final one is lack of transparency in political financing. Malaysia lacks a robust law regulating political donations, creating opportunities for illicit money flows. Political parties and candidates can receive large donations from undisclosed sources, increasing the risk of corruption in government contracts and policy making. In conclusion, to strengthen Malaysia's anti-bribery laws, reform should focus on granting MACC's full independence, improving whistleblower protections, enforcing corporate liability, strictly regulating political financing, and increasing transparency in government contracts. I know what the authorities are thinking about how I used to do all these corrupt activities with my colleague, and I think these are the main reasons why.
I think you make a valid point.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, bribery has become a significant issue in Malaysia, affecting both public and private sectors, including law enforcement agencies. In this scenario, my attempt to bribe a police officer to avoid punishment for speeding is a direct reflection of how bribery has become an easy escape for individuals who wish to evade legal consequences. Unfortunately, corruption does not only involve the giver but also the recipient, making it a two-way crime that weakens the justice system. This increasing trend in bribery cases is concerning, as it undermines the integrity of public institutions, damages public trust, and creates an environment where justice can be bought. Ladies and gentlemen, under Section 165 of the Malaysian Penal Code, any public servant accepts valuable consideration in connection with their social duties commits a criminal offence. In my case, the police officer who accepted my bribe violated this provision, as he was entrusted with upholding the law, but instead engaged in corrupted practices. The Penal Code treats this offence seriously, as public servants have the duty to enforce the law fairly and impartially. When officers engage in bribery, it not only compromises their role but also weakens public confidence in law enforcement agencies. Similarly, under Section 214 of the Penal Code, any person who gives or offers gratification to influence a public servant in the discharge of their duties is committing an offence. My decision to bribe an officer falls under this provision, as I attempted to corruptly persuade a law enforcer to neglect his legal responsibilities. This law recognizes that both the giver and the receiver of a bribe contributes to the corruption cycle, which is why both parties are subject to legal consequences. Ladies and gentlemen, bribery cases have surged in Malaysia due to various factors, including weak enforcement, lack of awareness, and the perception that corruption is common and an acceptable practice. Many individuals, including myself at the time, viewed bribery as a simple way to bypass legal trouble rather than a serious criminal act. The normalization of corruption is dangerous, as it encourages more people to engage in unethical behavior, believing they can avoid punishment if they have enough money or influence. In this case, a witness who saw the bribery transaction reported anonymously to a local radio station, leading to legal action against both the police officer and me. This demonstrates the crucial role of whistleblowers in combating corruption. Under the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010, individuals who report corruption are legally protected from retaliation, ensuring that they can expose wrongdoing without fear or harm. Without the anonymous caller's report, the bribery might have gone unnoticed, allowing corruption to persist unchecked. Reflecting on my experience, I have come to realize that bribery is never a solution but a crime that carries serious consequences. The rise in bribery cases in Malaysia is a pressing issue that must be addressed through stricter enforcement, public awareness, and active whistleblowing. Laws under the Penal Code such as Section 165, 214, and 120B exist to punish both those who give and receive bribes, ensuring that corruption does not go unpunished. For Malaysians, this scenario serves as a reminder that bribery weakens the institution erodes trust, and ultimately harms the nation as a whole. Instead of resorting to corruption, individuals should uphold the principle of integrity and accountability, knowing that breaking the law only leads to long-term regret and punishment. Thank you.
That's all from us.